I tell you what, man, I wish I had a cross and some nails because we could put Derek Lunsford up for the night. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for watching Strength Addicts on all social media platforms, powered by Iron Mega Labs. Make your mark with IML. Visit ironmegalabs.com today. So, honest question here. Should competitors be held responsible for the actions of their followers? And number two, should competitors address their followers to tone down their criticism or their adulation or whatever when it comes to other competitors? I think that it's a bit of an overstep, honestly, and what we're talking about is Derek Lunsford lost his grandma, and we send condolences for that. I was very close to my grandma. I only knew my maternal grandma. I didn't know my maternal grandfather or my paternal grandparents. She was the only grandparent I had. I called her Nana. I adored her to death. We were inseparable. I was her favorite grandchild. I'm pretty sure that's what my mom said, and she told me that as well. I adored her. However, I'm a journalist. I'm making these videos, and God forbid, if I had been doing that when my grandma passed, I could see people say, "Oh, look, Dookie's grandma passed away." And it's one of those things. I feel like if you're in the public eye, okay, and you're putting out articles or videos, or in Derek's case, this year he wins the Arnold Classic, $500,000. He wins the Pittsburgh, 100,000, right? He wants to win the Olympia again. What is that? 750,000. He wants to go for the Triple Crown. When you're thrusted into the public eye, and he's the one thrusting himself into it, okay, it really, to me, becomes a question of, look, it comes with the dinner. What I mean by that is, let's say you get a steak and a baked potato and some broccoli, right? Well, the steak is your prize money, your medals, your honors, and all that. The baked potato is probably the arduous contest prep you have to endure, and the broccoli is probably the woes that come with fame. The people that love you, that want you to sign their butt, and the people that hate you, and the people that just want to piss you off, and the people that are insensitive. I think, to me, for Derek to get on Instagram and whine about the broccoli while he's eating up the steak and the baked potato, to me, is a little bit disingenuous. You knew what you were getting yourself into. You knew that people were going to heckle you. You know about bodybuilding trolls. This isn't your first, rodeo or whatever. So, look, can we agree that Nick Walker's an asshole? Sure. I mean, that's as clear as day. But the thing is, though, does Nick Walker owe Derek Lunsford, or does Nick Walker owe Martin Fitzwater, or does Derek, not Derek, who are we talking about? The Michelin Man. Does Nick Walker owe Derek or Martin or any of his adversaries? At one point, there was a rivalry with Blessing Awadabu. Who? Blessing Awadabu. He's the guy that looked like trash a few shows ago. The point is, though, I think they call him the Boogeyman or something like that. What they need to call him is retired. The point is that, like that, right there, when you have a nickname and you're, I would say covering the covers of magazines, but there's no more magazines. But when you are in the public eye like that and you're making money and there's, all sorts of men jumping up and down and one woman somewhere that's excited to see you, you have got to be able to take that broccoli along with that amazing baked potato with butter and sour cream and that flank steak or filet mignon or whatever, you know what I mean? In Blessing's case, it would be hamburger meat because, he doesn't look very good on stage. But Derek is eating that prime cut, you know what I mean? And so again, I think that it's a little bit, I don't want to say that Derek Lunsford is coming off like a diva, but honestly, look, I don't feel that it's any competitors. Competitors have enough responsibility. Nick Walker's going to be a father soon. I mean, he's almost to term. So the reality of the matter is that you have got to be able to take it. Like Phil Heath, when Louis Marco was saying, you're calling him a bubble gut, you know what I mean, and all that stuff, and Hottie with his weird looking shoulders. I mean, the thing is, guys, is that if you're going to be, especially in bodybuilding, a subjective sport, a sport that's all about, scrutinizing a person's deltoids and the lateral head and the medial head and the bicep peaks and the tricep horseshoe and the teardrops in the quads and the balance and the proportions and all that stuff. And then on top of that, if, like Nick Walker, if you're an asshole, then you add all these things in there, and there's just so much, there's so much room to like pick someone apart. But, you don't see Nick Walker, like, getting all upset because I claim that he travels in a short bus, meaning that he's not very bright. But the thing is, well, he did block me, though. So, I mean, there's that. But he didn't block me because I attacked him. He blocked me because I was hard on Matt Jensen, the coach that he left, because Matt Jensen screwed over Sean Clarita by being a co-owner of Raw, and Raw dropped Sean at a time when Raw really should have kept him, as he was a 212 Mr. Olympia. But the point, though, is that you cannot get butthurt about it. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to call you a creep, or they want to say that you're, bald, or they want to say that your eyebrows shorter, or your eyes or whatever, you just kind of have to take it. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. You just take it. You know what I mean? You take it. Sometimes you're going to get a real pounding. You know what I mean? But you take it. So I think what Derek needs to do is he needs to bite on the towel or whatever, or the pillow. You know what I mean? And just take it. If Nick Walker's fans want to give him a good pounding, you know what I mean, then he just needs to take it. You know what I mean? And take it with a smile. Have a Coke and a smile. You know what I mean? The point is, though, is that I think that Derek, honestly, coming on here crying about, certain fans. And look, we know he's talking about Nick Walker fans because he name dropped the Michelin Man, and then he talked about his fans. And look, is it insensitive to make fun of a guy after he wins a $100,000 show where his grandma died? I mean, I don't think his grandma died at the Pittsburgh, though. I don't think that's the case. But she did die, right? And that's fucked up, to attack somebody when their grandma died. But the thing is, Derek Lunsford, he wiped the floor with Nick Walker. Pittsburgh was supposed to be Nick's comeback show, and instead Nick got his ass beat. You know what I mean? It was like Derek was like punching on Nick's ass. I mean, like, literally, Nick got his ass beat by Derek Lunsford. So of course, Nick's fans in Burma and Uganda are going to attack Derek Lunsford. It's only expected. But the thing is, nobody complains about it. Only, like Derek Lunsford is complaining about it. So, like, you don't want to look like a child. Franco is a child. You know what I mean? God rest his soul. But the thing is, you think Franco got upset at Arnold in that scripted movie when he was calling him a child behind his back? Do you think that Lou was angry that everybody thought that he was a big old dolt? You know what I mean? The thing is, though, is that if you're going to be in the public eye, you've got to take the broccoli along with the baked potato and the steak. See, Derek is getting on here and he's saying, I want the steak and I want the baked potato, but keep that broccoli off my plate. It doesn't work that way, bro. You got to eat the broccoli. You need the roughage. Okay, you need to stay regular. And that broccoli, my friend, is the only fiber on that plate. So am I saying that the haters are the equivalent of crap? Are they the byproduct of shit? Probably. But you can't have the steak without having the shit. I mean, that's the thing. And if you only eat the steak, you're not going to shit. You need the broccoli so that you can get the steak and the baked potato out of your system. So hecklers, in a real way, are kind of that roughage that you need to expel the steak from your body, Derek. So quit complaining. You're rich, you're successful. Shut the fuck up. And sorry about your grandma.